Recently, I 100%ed Plants vs Zombies 2, meaning I beat all 300 levels, got all 60 achievements, and even played so much Phasebreaker, I wanted to claw my eyes out. Now today I wanted to go through and tell you all which plants in Plants vs Zombies 2 are good and bad and give you the definitive ranking. Now I want to clarify 3 things before we get into this. First of all, if you only play Plants vs Zombies 1, a lot has changed, so a lot of this is going to look like totally foreign to you, but you're just going to have to run with it. Second of all, I'm only going to be doing the free plants in the game, the ones that you get from just beating the levels. I didn't play with any of the paid plants besides those tryout levels that you get throughout the game, and I don't feel like I got enough of an experience with the plants to rank them based off that. And finally, I am genuinely awful at this game. Like, I'm really, really bad, as everybody in the comments kind of pointed out to me. So, take my opinion with a grain of salt. This probably will make you, like, worse at the game, honestly. So, take that into consideration. First things first, we got the pea shooter. Now, pea shooter is pretty different than it was in Plants vs Zombies 1, which I know sounds insane. It does the exact same thing, but the meta around Plants vs Zombies 2 has completely changed. If you don't know, in Plants vs Zombies 2, sun orbs now give you 50 sun instead of 25, which just is going to influence a lot of how I rank this tier list, just because sun becomes so much more common and you have so much more sun now that, like, cheaper plants that used to be, like, really good are generally a lot worse. And for that reason, pea shooter is pretty bad. I'd put him in like the D tier. There's no real reason to use pea shooter except in those like beginning levels when you first get him, but you get an upgrade to pea shooter like way sooner than you do usually, or not usually, like based off the levels, but you have to think, right? Like the original Plants vs Zombies 1 has 50 levels. Plants vs Zombies 2 has like 300. So I'm gonna have to like think about like the proportion of levels that you have to use pea shooter on, right? Like maybe in total you use pea shooter for longer, which no, you don't, because those backyard levels that he's from are like pretty short, but like the proportion of levels, even though I'm undermining my own point, proportion of levels, you know, the percentage is so much lower that like he's got to go like way deep down. He doesn't do anything special, and I think PvZ 2 is a lot harder than PvZ 1, and like because of that, the plants are a lot better, or you get plants that are a lot better, I should say. So like pea shooter being like completely unchanged from the first game is like pretty bad. So yeah, that's that. All right, sunflower. Now sunflower is like kind of hard to rank. Usually I know when people do like tier lists like this, they don't rank sunflower because like you need sunflower to play the game, basically. You can't play without sun. But in PvZ 2, there's a lot more sun producers, so I feel as though I can rank him this time around, and I would put sunflower in the B tier. Like I said, there's so many more sun producers, and as you're gonna see, we get twin sunflower at the end of ancient Egypt, which in my opinion immediately is gonna outclass the original sunflower. But there are no plant upgrades in this game. All plant upgrades have just been made their own separate plant. Twin sunflower is one of those, and I just prefer using twin sunflower because, you know, like I said, this is a more sun-rich game and it's a lot easier to get online. A lot of the times, honestly, what I would run would be like both, and then use sunflower to get twin sunflower online. Walnut is fine. The thing is that you're gonna hear me say this a lot, so get used to it. There are just a lot better alternatives. There are a lot more cheap ways to stall zombies from coming in. What I will say about walnut is like oftentimes you would use it like, oh my god, I need it in like split second, the zombies are getting through this, right? Oh, let me just place a walnut there and then I'll give them time to like whittle it down. And now if that was happening to me in a level, I would just use plant food. If you only play Plants vs Zombies 1, plant food is like you get these like little orbs, like just through playing the level, it's not like you pay for them, or it's only like this level exclusive thing, and then you lose it at the end of the level. But if that was happening to me and I had an emergency, I would just use like plant food on like, you know, a pea shooter or something like that, and it would do like a ton of damage, it'd shoot out all these bullets, and then I would be good. Because of that, I would probably put walnut in like the C tier. The thing I will say to its credit is you don't get a lot of instant kills really early on in this game. You don't really get instant kills like probably till later. To me, it felt like I didn't get them for like a really long time, any instant kills. So he does function pretty well until then, but I do think that he's still pretty awful. All right, Spudmine is still A tier, which is kind of shocking, I guess, because Spudmine used to be like S tier, but it's still really good. You use it for like most of the game, but so the role Spudmine obviously fills is like at the beginning of the level when you're trying to build your sun up, that first zombie that comes down the lane, you plant Spudmine down, and then it's like boom, he gets rid of it, gives you more time to build up your sun because he's so cheap. There is a lot of other plants that do pretty much that exact same thing, and you don't really have the need for Spudmine all the time. I would bring Spudmine into like every single level still until we get certain other plant that I'll get into later, but because of that, it definitely does knock it down. I think some of them I would even prefer to Spudmine. Cabbage Pult. So Cabbage Pult was changed in this game. Now instead of, because there's no roof levels, now instead of that purpose, it now destroys graves, or like can lob cabbages over graves, I should say. There are not a lot of tombstones in this game. I believe they're only in ancient Egypt and the medieval level, which makes him like pretty much useless. I literally think he's like just the same as pea shooter. I guess he's a little better technically, but I never felt the need to use cabbage bolts. In fact, I would actively like work against using him. All right, boomerang. What is this thing called? Boomerang something? Boomerang? Bloomerang. That's what it's called. Bloomerang. Bloomerang's pretty good. His whole thing is that he has these like, the bloomerang will shoot the boomerang and it'll go like up and down the lane and it can like pierce through zombies. That's pretty good. His projectile's not super strong, but he was pretty good in general. I think the best use for him is that his plant food if you plant food bloomerang, he'll shoot like a ton of boomerangs in like the four cardinal directions, which is really good for like clearing a lane, and also like when a wave comes, like you can go like up and down the lane and like kind of clear everything else out, because like I said, there's not a lot of instant kills until later on. So bloomerang's pretty good. I put him in like the B tier. He's like fine. I wouldn't be like hesitant to use him, but we're about to get something that's gonna completely outclass him. Okay, ice. What is this thing called? Ice shroom, I think. Iceberg lettuce. That's really clever. Iceberg lettuce is really good. Basically what it does is when you walk up to iceberg lettuce, it freezes any zombie that stands on him. And he's kind of a reason why Spudmine's not so good, because you could plant down an iceberg lettuce and then he would just like freeze the zombie, giving you more time to react. And then, you know, actually slowing down the tempo of a round is actually pretty good, because then, you know, a lot of the time the zombies don't spawn until one zombie's been killed. So like it actually might be better sometimes than using a spud mine. The problem is, like I keep saying, I feel like for all of these, he is like completely overshadowed by something that is like basically the same thing as him, but better in every conceivable way. Also, I want to clarify, I didn't say this at the top, I played on like the most recent patch of Plants vs Zombies 2 where there's like plant upgrades or whatever. I didn't really like upgrade any plants. I kind of thought that was stupid. But he is really good. He was like a must bring. I found that a lot of the time I would bring like sunflower, spudmine, iceberg lettuce, and then like one thing to do damage in like every single level. Gravebuster. Gravebuster. First of all, I have to just like address the elephant in the room. He looks like awful. Why did they go with this design? His old design was so cool and brooding, and I don't know why they changed him to look like this like neutered stack of vines. I actually hate it so much. I can't like describe to you how much I hate this design. That's besides the point. Gravebuster's pretty bad because Gravebuster already was like not great in Plants vs Zombies 1. The only reason you would bring him to a level is because you would get like a little coin every time you would destroy a grave. But in this game, projectiles can destroy graves. Given he is like free now, but like since projectiles can destroy graves, like you really don't want Gravebuster like taking up a slot, and for that I'm gonna put him into the F tier. Also, I will say when I played, I didn't really use power-ups unless I like really got stuck on a level. So power-ups are those like little things you can click on the bottom, like pay 200 coins, you can like swipe across the screen. So I'm gonna be like considering that angle as well. Some of these plants might be like wildly different if you use power-ups and stuff like that, but I didn't really go down that lane. Bonk Choi is pretty good. He's a melee-based plant and he like punches like really quickly. The nice thing about him is that he can shoot he can like punch in front of himself or behind himself, which is good for some like niche zombies later on. He does pretty good damage, but I believe him by himself cannot take out a cone head, which is kind of like problematic, but I'd still put him in the B tier. He's really, really good, but I wouldn't say really, really good. He's pretty good. He's definitely better than any of these other plants in this tier, but his range is just so limited. And if you're gonna bring him, you probably have to bring walnut, and like think about another like non-shooting plant like spikeweed where you can just like slap it on a lane, right? Like this is like, no, he has to be at the front, and I believe he can only be supported by like one other bonk choi. So I think he's fine. His plant food ability where he shoots in all like 8 directions is like pretty good as like an alternative to like cherry bomb. All right, repeater. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. Repeater is not as good as some of the other plants that you're gonna get later on, but repeater carries you through a good chunk of the game, a good long chunk of the game, and for that I'm gonna put him in either low S or high A. I'm gonna put him in high A because he puts you in it. He gets you through a lot of those games because, like I said, he still costs 200, and because maybe I should put him in high S because low S because you have so much more sun. You can place so many more repeaters. The levels also a lot of time are a lot longer than they were in PvZ1, which gives you more of an opportunity to actually place him down. I used him for like the first half of this game, pretty much until I got like melon polt. I used him in like every single level pretty much, which is a lot of levels, but I will say he's not like the best plant in the game, but he carries you through a lot of it. Twin sunflower is better than sunflower sometimes. He's not strictly always better, but I used him in a lot more levels than I did regular Sunflower. It made getting your setups going a lot easier, I found. You did usually need to have a normal Sunflower to get him going, but like I said, because there's so much more sun, like you start with 50 sun, and then you like click one like sun node, and this thing costs 150 still, right? Yeah, it costs 125. That actually like made it cost less. So you start with 50 sun, then you click one sun node from the ceiling. You already have 50 sun. Like you already have another 50 sun. That's 100 sun. Then you just have to click one more, boom, you can get them online. It's like, it's that simple. Man, you can like freeze with like iceberg lettuce, like while you're getting that going to like give yourself a little bit more time. He's definitely he's not the best sun producer in PvZ2, but he's definitely better than Sunflower. But like I said, sometimes you did need to bring Sunflower if it was like an aggressive level to get him online. Kernel Pult. I did not use Kernel Pult at all this entire playthrough. I found like if I really need to like freeze zombies, I would like use plant food iceberg lettuce. I didn't really find him very good at all. All right, next up we have Snapdragon. Snapdragon I really wanted to like. I really think his effect is cool where he like shoots in like across 3 lanes, but I just found his damage to be so low, and I felt like I was barely doing anything to these zombies, and I would set up like these whole rows and these complex things and try and use garlic, and I just really found that he wasn't that good. You do need to use him in a bunch of levels in that frozen world, what is it called? Frostbite Caves, but I did not find him to be very good. I really wanted to like him, but he was just so fine. Like the damage he deals is not enough, and his range is really short too. You could have like people on like all 3 lanes like trying to hit, and it just like still was, I felt like I was doing no damage. I bet this is like a plant that's like actually cracked if you know how to use it. I just don't. I don't know how to use it. Spikeweed? I never use this thing. Oh, you know what I learned though? Okay, this is what I learned. I did not do this in my playthrough, but I didn't find Spikeweed to be really good. I'd probably put in like the C tier or like probably even D tier. But what I found out about this plant is probably the most annoying levels in the game are like these levels where you have to make sure that the zombies don't trample on the flowers. And there's one in modern day that took me like hours to do. And there's like this row of flowers, you just have to make sure the zombies don't get to it. So, you know, sometimes the flowers would be in like the 3rd lane, so you gotta kill them in like 2 lanes. It's like pretty tough. Well, you probably just think, okay, just put a tall nut in front of it. Well, a lot of times you couldn't do that because they would have those kicking zombies or zombies that jumped over them or a bunch of other crap. Spikeweed, if you put it on top of the flowers, like does it like negates that use, I guess? Like it does, like it doesn't think that the zombies are like touching the flowers. It like completely negates the whole point of the level. So I'm gonna put it in not really good, but needed to solve a specific problem. And I'm gonna put Spike Rock in there too for the same exact reason. Like you slap them things in there and it's like boom, those levels are basically irrelevant. And they do a lot of those levels. Oh my god. All right, what is this thing called? Green bean, lean bean, jump bean, something bean. This thing sucks. You use it in Pirate Seas and then like never again, because why would you want to just like bump a zombie back for like, what is it, 75 or 50 sun? Like why wouldn't you just like want to freeze it for free or like use a spud mine and kill it? I know that like in Pirate Seas it's like kind of okay, but like I don't know, this thing is awful. Maybe it's F tier, I don't know. Nah, I guess you use it in Pirate Seas at least. Next up we got Coconut Cannon. Coconut Cannon is not good either. A lot of these plants are not super good. This plant is pretty bad. I want to put it in like D or C. Yeah, I just don't understand why you would ever bring this to a level. Basically, it's like a reusable cherry bomb, but it takes a really long time to like reload. And it's not like Cob Cannon where you can like put it wherever you want on the map. And also it like eviscerates everything in that area. It like usually doesn't end up doing that much damage. I think it's strictly worse than a cherry bomb. It's pretty expensive. And like I just never found any use for them ever. It's a cool idea for a plant, like a reusable cherry bomb, but I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it. I'm gonna put 3-Peter in maybe C or B. I didn't use it on that many levels, but something that's really nice about him is his plant food goes crazy, because if you use plant food on it, it goes across like all 3 lanes, which is like a good use for your plant food. So I did like find that I used him more often than I thought. And also because there's more sun, I was using him somewhat often, but that's also just because I like the design of this plant, like the design philosophy of like, oh, you can just like have it in a couple lanes, and it just made it easy to like overwhelm. But I don't think it's like that good, probably. I don't think I really like it was important that I used it on very many levels, but he was fun. Okay, Cherry Bomb, finally, you're like, what is it, 3 worlds into this like game, and you got your first instant kill. It takes really long to get Cherry Bomb, but once you do, you bring it to every single level. Every single level in the game you bring Cherry Bomb to, because there are so many zombies in this game that if they get started, created, they just like mess up your entire run, right? Imagine if like they made PvZ1 and every single zombie was the Zomboni. That's how I feel about PvZ2, because they like the kicking zombie, the robot is that Neon Mixing? No, Far Future, the robot in like the little mech. There's gargantuars in every single level now. They don't save them until the end. You've got the dodo zombies in Frostbite Caverns. Like, there are just so many zombies that you need to take out immediately, or anything involving the dinosaurs. Like, you are gonna just mess up your entire run, and having an insta kill is more important than ever was before. I mean, Cherry Bomb was already probably an S tier plant in the last game, or maybe more like A tier, but you have to bring this to every single level. Every single level in the game, you need to have Cherry Bomb. There is never a level that I didn't bring him. He's never outclassed the entire game. They don't even have Jalapeno anymore. I don't even think there are any other instant kills in the entire game. No, he's the only instant kill pretty much. I mean, I guess freaking Chili Bean's technically an instant kill, but not really. Cherry Bomb is necessary. You need to have him every single level without a shadow of a doubt. Bring Cherry Bomb. The thing about backwards P, what is his name? Split P maybe? Split P, I knew it. The thing about Split P is that there are a lot of zombies in this game that end up getting behind you somehow. Specifically, I'm thinking about like all the ones in this Wild West levels. And then also there's a lot in the dinosaur levels that I ended up using Split P for, because there's that one zombie that, that one dinosaur that like kicks zombies to the back. There's a couple flying zombies too, like, well, Dodo Bird it wouldn't really help with, but no, it would help with Dodo Bird. You could like put him at the front of a lane. And there's also like in Frostbite Caverns, there are these like little tile blocks that like push zombies up. So I found uses of like ways to put him into use in those levels. Like if a lane ends up becoming like really short because of the way those tiles were placed, like you could put him on a lane. So he's actually a lot better, I think, than he was in the original game, but he's still, I mean, I kind of want to put him in not really good, but needed to solve a specific problem, but I think that's too niche. I'm going to put him in B. He ends up being good in like a couple levels. I end up using him way more than I did in the original Plants vs Zombie, where he's like an F tier. Chili Bean is A tier. Chili Bean's pretty good. If a zombie eats it, it instantly dies. It's more expensive than Spud Mine, but in my opinion, it's better than Spud Mine, because it only costs 75 sun, which you might be like, that's a lot of sun, but it's really not, because there is so much sun going around. And also it gives an effect if any other zombies have spawned in the lane. So unlike Spud Mine, you can continue using it like into the level. Like sometimes during a wave, I would like put down a Chili Bean on like a lane that I knew was weak, and then it would like, you know, weaken and poison all those zombies in that lane behind him. For that reason, it's definitely better than Spud Mine. I don't know. Maybe I should put Spud Mine down. I don't know. I feel like I brought Chili Bean a lot more than Spud Mine. Spud Mine might be in B tier now. I think I'm gonna bump Spud Mine down to B tier. There's just so many more like cheap alternatives to use. Peapod. I'm gonna say this about a lot of different plants. I really wanted to like Peapod. It's a really cool concept. It has like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different slots for you to put plants in. And then you can just like keep putting Peapods in there, and then it would like be one space that like shoots like all these things. The thing is that that's just like really sun expensive, and even in a game that has like so much sun going around, it like never really makes it worth it to do that. It's probably in like D tier. I don't see a reason you would ever play Peapod. Like in that time that you did that, I could have like a repeater on, like 2 repeaters on a lane, you know what I mean? Because you have to think about the recharge time too. It just like wasn't very good. They introduced him for like the Wild West, where it's like, okay, you can move him up and down between lanes, but I just didn't find him very good. Lightning Reed. Lightning Reed's okay. I don't like Lightning Reed, so that's gonna like color my opinion, because I just don't really like that he like does a little damage but it like zaps. Like, I don't know, something about him I just don't really enjoy. I don't enjoy his design, but he's like pretty good. He's necessary for a lot of Wild West levels because you need him for those chickens. I tried to get him going because I do like lightning stuff, but I don't know, he just felt kind of underwhelming to me. I bet like some PvZ pro is gonna like reaction to this video and be like, Lightning Reed is the best plant in the game or something. I put him in like B tier. Split Pea should probably be like here. No, below Bonk Choy. Below Sunflower. Lightning Reed should be like here. Also, if you are like a Plants vs Zombie pro, like please actually react to this video. I reviewed this guy's awful Plants vs Zombies 2 tier list. That would be actually awesome. We got Melon Pult. Now here's the thing about Melon Pult. Melon Pult is good, but in like 2 levels, we're about to get Winter Melon, which is no longer an upgrade to Melon Pult. I'm gonna rank these together at the same time. It is now its own separate plant. And Winter Melon, because like I said, there's so much sun gun going around is like, I'm gonna spoil this, is like S tier. This is like one of the top best plants in the game still. It's still really, really, really good. Oh my god, this plant is so goddamn good. But because of like that, you don't really need Melon Pult anymore. He's like good. You know what I mean? I don't think I would ever really bring Melon Pult to a level. There was a couple like last stand levels I would bring him to, because that's like a new thing. They do like a last stand thing in every single thing, and it's like, okay, I would only need to put like one winter melon on the lane if I only had like X amount of sun, so maybe I'll put some like Melon Pults there to like, you know, bolster it out. But I just found that I would just place winter melon like so much more often. I do not know why they give you this plant so early. I seriously kind of confused why they did that. I thought that was really honestly dumb. Like, this plant trivializes every single level in the game. You just like place winter melon down like pretty much every single level. Like that, it's the whole game. Like, that's the whole meta. I don't know why you would ever play any other plant. It takes a while to get up, but like, he freezes 3 lanes at once. Like, do you understand that? He's really good. And his like plant food thing is really good. God, this thing is busted. Tall Nut is okay, because like I said, a lot of the time, why am I gonna put a Tall Nut up? I'm gonna use Iceberg Lettuce. I'm gonna put a winter melon down. Like, he's still good, but he's just so much outclassed also by a plant that we're gonna see later on. And like, when you need to start stalling zombies is like when you get that other plant. Does that make sense? He's definitely good, but I didn't find myself using him in very many levels. Probably because also he's just like slow, you know what I mean? And like, they send so many zombies now that why would you want to put a Tall Nut up when there's gonna be like 40 zombies on the lane? They're gonna eat through your Tall Nut in like 2 seconds. I would rather just like place down a plant food on something and like clear the lane that way. Because sun is so much more like rich, it's a lot less catastrophic if you end up losing a plant, right? And if I'm about to lose like my winter melon, I'm just gonna plant food something. Plant food really makes like stalling like not as good of a strat. That's my opinion. Maybe Tall Nut's really good. I'm gonna put Tall Nut in C tier actually. I think he's like fine. Hot potato, bro. Okay, I just have to preface this. I hate Frostbite Caverns. That is gonna color my opinion of all 5 of these plants, because I did not like Frostbite Caverns at all. I thought this level sucked. Thought it was stupid. I thought that everything was slow. I hate the dodo zombie. I didn't like the tiles. This thing is like, how do I rank this thing? Like, you have to bring it to your Frostbite Cavern levels, because you need to unfreeze your zombies. I'm sorry, you need to unfreeze your plants, but like, it's not like it's good. It's not like I'm gonna bring him to any other level. Like, he's just like, it's like lily pad, you know what I mean? How do you rank freaking lily pad? All right, these things, what is this thing called? Pepper Pult. I think Pepper Pult's actually like really good, but I just didn't use him a lot in my playthrough, so I'm gonna have to like kind of like freeball this, because I think he's pretty good, because I started to use him like towards those later levels. I just like didn't use him very often, but he only costs like 200 sun, which is kind of crazy. You can get these set up, and I'm pretty sure it has splash damage, so he's probably like in my playthrough, like I said, because I like literally like zoned out on like all of Frostbite Caverns. I probably would have put him in like high B, but he's probably in like low A. He's probably pretty good. I just don't remember too much about him because I didn't really use him. These things, okay, what is this thing called? Radish Smacker or something like that? Shard Guard. Okay, Shard Guard is like so weird. It like pushes zombies back, but he only gets like 3 uses. You have to use this thing in Frostbite Caverns, because he also like, he like really helps you with dodo zombies, but like, I never really found myself using him again. Well, actually, that's not true. I did use him in a couple of flower levels to like prevent zombies from stepping on flowers, but now that I know about the spikeweed thing, like, I probably wouldn't do that. But he's better than walnut, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather put this down than a walnut, because like, then I would just like, boom, I could have more time, and he doesn't get eaten. I don't have to worry about repairing him, and he's just like there, you know? And like, because I have so much sun, I could just like replace him again. And like, it's nice too for like a lot of zombies that have like splash damage or like other effects to just like get them out of there, like the freaking kicking zombie that I hate. I think I like this thing more than I let on. I'll probably put him in B tier. This thing's probably awful. This plant is probably genuinely terrible, but I do like him. All right, Stunyon. Stunyon is good. I think Stunyon's good, right? Am I crazy? I like this thing. I'm like starting to get, this is like the tier where I'm like starting to like doubt my placements, but I feel like Stunyon's good, right? He's like 25 sun. You place him down, he stuns some zombies. He's kind of like, I would rather have Stunyon than Potato Mine most times, because like, I just want to get that thing down. I feel like I'm gonna put him in like B, or I'm sorry, A, right? Is Stunyon good? I feel like Stunyon's good. I don't know. I like Stunyon. I like Stunyon, so I'm gonna put him in A. I don't know if he's good. I think he should be good. What is this thing called? Oh my god, I forgot all these plants' names. Rhodobega. That's hilarious. This thing's awful. I hate it shoots in 4 directions, which is like so hard to like line up. He costs like 150. This is also a plant where I'm sure everyone's gonna be like the first time I played PvZ 1, I thought Starfruit was awful. And then everyone was like, Starfruit's good. And then I tried him out again and he's like, he's actually pretty good. But this guy doesn't even shoot, like he doesn't shoot front down the lane and he doesn't shoot backwards, which is like two things. Or I'm sorry, Starfruit also doesn't shoot front down the lane, but he shoots backwards, which was really good. And he shot like like down, which would be nice. Like, oh, I have a zombie here like waiting in a walnut. I can just like boop, I'm gonna place a Starfruit like right above it. Tile turnip I don't feel like does any of those things because he shoots in 4 diagonal directions. Why would I ever have a use for that? You know what I mean? I guess I could, like, if I had a walnut thing here, I could put it like here. I think this thing's awful. I never used it. Now we're into Lost City and we have Red Stinger. Now I'm gonna overrate this plant because I really like it, but I'm gonna put him into the S tier. I think Red Stinger is really, really good. It's basically a repeater that costs 150. And now you're probably like, well, Shawnee dude, like if sun's so easy to come around, like why not just pay the extra 50 sun to like get a repeater down? Well, because you idiot, I'm gonna put down another Red Stinger by the time you start doing that, you know? I already got Red Stingers in the back. The way this plant works is he like shoots more when he's in the back. And I always place my plants like that. I always put the sunflowers in front. So if you do that, he's like really, really good actually. You don't really want to ever place him like above that unless you're like super sun flush, but just put your sunflowers in row 4, put these guys in the back 3 lanes. Holy crap, this like owned through so many goddamn levels. This thing was awesome. It's really, really good because a lot of the times like you need to wait to get your wintermelon up. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna smack down some like red stingers really quick. Boom, I'm gonna like kill out these like initial zombie waves. Then I got my wintermelon down. You're cooked. It's over. You're done. All right. Aki? That's what this thing is called? I don't know what this thing is. This thing is terrible, right? Maybe it's really good. I don't know. I think this thing is terrible. I like never used it. It like shoots these projectiles, like bounces off of zombies. I feel like the damage was so low for the cost. Oh great, you can projectile? Well, guess what? My red stinger has already ripped through like 10 zombies, so it like doesn't matter that you're doing that. I like, you know what I mean? That's how he freaking pierces. Oh yeah, Endurian, which first of all, I just want to say incredible name. That's a great name. I thought this thing is not very good. He's probably like, I don't think stalling plants are really good in PvZ too. That's like kind of, I'm sure, what everybody's taking away. And I think this thing is like worse than like walnut. I don't know why you'd ever want like a thing that like spikes, you know what I mean? I didn't really ever see a reason to use this as it's a walnut that spikes. It's like walnut and spikeweed in one package, but spikeweed would be bad if not for like the flower thing. So like, why would I ever use Endurian? Because he costs 100 goddamn sun. I don't really see a purpose to ever use this thing. All right, Ambrosia. Right, that's what this thing is called? Nope, it's not Ambrosia. Stalia. Oh, but it's based on Ambrosia. I get points for that. Stalia is really, really good. Stalia is a free stunion that explodes in a 3x3 range. So you just smack that thing down, you like slow down 3 zombies, you know, and a lot of time, okay, let me put a chili pepper down for like the first zombie in the lane, then we put a Stalia down, and I'm gonna like stall out like the other 2 zombies that they're sending at each other. This thing is really good, and it's really good here. Like, here's the thing, Spud Mine you always use at the beginning, right? And then he doesn't really, he kind of like falls off, and then you need to like get other things going. Stalia, you can use this thing until like the very last wave, because you slap that thing down a wave, you've just cleared out 3 rows. Now you only need to worry about 2 rows, because it stalls them for a good amount of time. I think it's like 10-15 seconds or something like that. It's pretty good. I brought this thing to like every single level. I think it's like strictly better than Iceberg Lettuce. It's like a direct upgrade, though this is making me think that maybe chili pepper is like better than I thought. But I really like Stalia. You know what? Maybe I'm like overrating everything and like I need to just like put everything down a tier, but I don't know. Stalia is really good. I might have to make an S+ tier when we get on. All right, this thing is awful. This might be the genuine like the worst plant like in the whole game. What is it called? Gold Leaf. He makes like tiles that when you place things on, they make more sun, but you're using sun to do that. Like, why would you ever want to use this thing? I don't understand. I think they were just like couldn't think of other ways to like generate sun, and so they're like, all right, let's like get really creative with it, like this and like Sunbeam, which obviously I think you guys know where is it gonna go. All right, Laser Bean. I really like Laser Bean. If it was my personal list, I would put him in S tier, but he's probably only like A tier. I really, really like Laser Bean though. He has infinite pierce, which is like kind of awesome. The damage is pretty low, but you like get like 2 freaking laser beams going, you're like clearing out lanes, which is really nice, especially for far future when like you need something like heavy, like a wintermelon to take on those like big robots, but then you got like a million zombies behind him that you need to start like taking out and stuff. I really like Laser Bean. His plant food is basically like a chili pepper too, because it just like clears out a lane. I don't know, maybe he's S tier, but he's probably definitely only good enough to be A tier, but I just like him. I just like him, okay? Blover is terrible. Blover's awful. Well, I guess he's not awful, but I don't know how to rank Blover. There's a lot less zombies that or I guess there's more zombies that you need to use them on, but you see them less often or in less a percentage of the levels. I believe he used to like slow zombies, right? But I think they changed that. Anyway, I don't know. I think he used to like slow zombies, which I think was good. Some genius is going to go into the wiki and be like, well, actually Blover works on a lot more freaking plants now. And I'm like, yeah, but by the time you get this guy, like you've already beat past most of those plants. Zombie parrot, freaking dodo rider zombie, all this stuff. I think he's like, I guess I put him there. Citron sucks. I don't like Citron. Maybe Citron's like really good actually, but I just like don't. I never cared for her, so I'm gonna put it in like the D tier. He like shoots these like giant beams, but they just always felt like super underwhelming. Like if you're gonna, like, here's the thing. If you're gonna be a big fat unit that is like gonna do a lot of damage, you have to go up against Wintermelon, and you cannot compete. Citron, you're like not even close. You're not there at all. EM Peach is good, but it only serves like in a couple levels for those robot zombies, but those robot zombies are really annoying. They are like really freaking annoying when you need to deal with this thing. Like when you need this thing, you freaking need this thing, and it's cheap, and like those robots drove me crazy. I don't know, maybe like B tier, but like you don't use it like all the time, but he's like good when you do need him. But I'm like below Sunflower. All right, Infinite Nut is definitely better than the other two nuts. The best part about Infinite Nut, in my opinion, is that his plant food makes him protect like all 5 lanes at once, which is really nice if you're like really struggling on a wave and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna slap Infinite Nut down and like put a plant food on him. He'd be good for like a bunch of different of those like special levels when you couldn't have like plants die. You could just like slap down an Infinite Nut, boom, call it a day. I like Infinite Nut a lot. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Like I said, he's probably like the same as like Charred Guard. He's definitely better than these 3 because he respawns, so respawning is awesome. All right, Magnifying Grass. Now, if anybody here watched my Plants vs Zombies 2 video, you may know that I said that this was like genuinely the worst plant in the entire game, probably. That was like one of the stupidest things I've ever said in my life, which is like saying something. That's like huge for me to say because I've said so many stupid things. This might be the best plants in the game. Like this, it's really good. There's so much sun going around. You just set some like this is all you need. You set up a bunch of like twin sunflowers. You're just spamming this thing. It does so much damage, and like just for a little sun is like, sometimes you have in a lot of these levels, I would have so much sun and nothing to spend it on because I was just like waiting for recharge times on plants. Never have that problem with Magnifying Grass. Boom, 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 boom. Every lane clear. This thing is really good, and like also it can be basically like an instant kill. Like okay, there's like whatever. I have like 300 sun, but my cherry bomb's on like recharge. I just plop this thing down right next to the Gargantuar, spam out all my sun, boom, it's dead. I mean, this thing is like this thing is busted. I can't believe I thought it was not good. It is really good. I seriously am like really astonished that I thought this thing was bad. It might genuinely be the best plant in the game. Like it's really good. It's broken. I don't know why this thing's allowed to exist. Tile Turnip. This thing, I'm not even gonna talk about this plant. This plant sucks. Who's using Tile Turnip? Would be awesome. First time I saw it, I'm like, it cost 0. That's awesome. Then you see it's like cost 0 for the first one, 250. What is this goddamn prize picks? What did get me hooked on the first one? Get the hell out of here, Turnip. Sunshroom. Sunshroom's fine. I also don't like Dark Ages, so that's gonna color my opinion of it. Bro, I don't know. How the heck do you rank Sunshroom? I don't like Sunshroom. I don't know what to say other than that. I don't like him. He's probably better than Sunflower, but I don't like him. I don't like the growing thing. I've said this time and time again. I think it's weird. It messes up your plant totals. I guess they kind of fix it now because he does like 25 sun. I actively try not to use this thing. And there's a lot less night levels now, so there's a lot less of a reason to use him. I don't know. How good is this thing? I don't care. I'm putting him in C tier. It's probably better than that, but I don't really care. All right, Puffshroom. Ooh, all right, guys. We got to pour one out for my boy Puffshroom. This, from PvZ 1 to PvZ 2, is probably the biggest nerf of all time. Puffshroom PvZ 1 might be best plant in the game. That he genuinely a free plant that just like shoots. Dude, I would bring Puffshroom to like sun levels sometimes. Just like slap that thing down, get myself in a little extra time on my spud mine. Now he like not procrastinates. He dilapidates. He disappears after like a little bit of time. And then it's like, bye. You know, Puffshroom's gone. He's still pretty good, but it's like because you can use plant food and like revive all of your Puffshrooms. But also it's like his cooldown is not fast enough to like really make that work. I mean, he's still pretty good, but you can't like, maybe I'm being colored because he used to be the GOAT. And now he's just like, he's fine. Whatever. I'm like chill with him. him, but like, I'm not gonna invite him to my birthday party. I'm gonna put him in the not invited to birthday party tier. Fume shroom? Bro, there's so many plants in this game with piercing. Who cares about fume shroom? See ya. Sunbeam might be the worst plant in the entire game. And I will die on that hill. Worst plant that I saw. No, actually, it's this carrot thing. But this is up there. This is high up there. The sunbeam is awful. You get sun when this plant gets eaten? What? Why is that? Why? Skill issue. If it were me, my plants wouldn't be getting eaten at all. I don't understand why this thing exists. I don't like it, and I wish it would be erased from existence. All right, magnet shroom, guys. Magnet shroom. What would you guys say magnet shroom was in PvZ1? Maybe C tier, maybe? It wasn't really useful for a lot of things except for like infinite stuff. Like, you know what I mean? When you wanted to get rid of a Jack-in-the-Box zombies in like some survival infinite levels, right? Now, he is a lot better, and that is because of something that's not even from the Dark Ages. It is because I'm being, like I said, this is gonna be my opinion. Punk Zombie genuinely might be my like least favorite zombie to ever exist. I actually hate Punk Zombie, and it single-handedly like brought this game down like a whole point for me in like a ranking system way. And Magnet Shroom beats Punk Zombie. Slap a freaking plant food on it, it kills all the freaking Punk Zombies on the goddamn screen. So I'll put him in like high B tier. He's not that good, but he really served those Punk Zombies. I hate the Punk Zombies so much. Dude, freaking this beat, why did they add this to the game? I'm putting him in F tier. He might be like C tier probably, but I hate him. Why did they add him to the game? We're in freaking Neon Mixtape right now. Like, you're not gonna ever use, what is it? The raw beat something? Beats by Dre, whatever it is. I hate this thing. This thing is so dumb. Why does it exist? Its range is so short. It doesn't really hit too far in front, so you're like never doing enough damage. Garlic builds are like really not all that good in this game. Like, I don't understand why I would ever use this thing. It's so weak. You could have like 4 beats up and like you would still lose to like a cone head. I know that's like probably not accurate, but like that's how I feel. All right, guys, we got to talk about Celery Stalker. I know that Celery Stalker is one of the best plants in the game, and this is once again, this is the Shawnee Dude tier list. You have to consider this. I don't like him. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he operates, where you place him down and then he hits things behind, and then I can never tell if the zombie is far enough behind for Celery Stalker to stop hitting him. People are gonna be like, oh, he's like 50 Sun. He's a 50 Sun cherry bomb. No, just straight up wrong. Straight up just like stupid, because like it's hitting something. Oh, it's a reusable cherry bomb. You put it down in the lane, it kills something, and then like another zombie will walk over and then it kills that one. That's not what happens. What happens is he comes out of the ground to kill some zombie. Some other zombie eats him in like 2 seconds. He's done. He's cooked. I don't care. I know this zombie's good. I know the zombie's apparently like A tier, S tier, like S plus tier. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. And to me, it also matters if it makes the game less fun. If the game's not fun, why bother? And I don't like him. I think that it makes your lanes look all messy. I think that the estimation of how far a zombie is into your lane is unclear of when he's able to eat a Celery Stalker. I think that he sucks. I don't like him, and I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Comment a million times. I'm actually gonna ban Celery Stalker from the comments. So I don't care. He sucks. I don't care what you have to say. Put him in S tier all you want. I hate him. Bro, Time Warp, whatever this thing's called. Dude, maybe this is the best plant in the game. This might genuinely be the best plant in Plants vs Zombies, like, to ever exist. When I like learned about this power, basically you place it down, it warps all zombies back to the beginning of the lane. Now that doesn't always fix your problem, because like sometimes it's like, well, the lane has no plants in it, so you're kind of boned anyway. But most of the time it does. And in a game that has no real instant kills, Time Warp is, you got to bring Time Warp every single level. There is not a single level after I unlocked Time Warp that I didn't bring it. It used to be so good that you could only bring him to levels inside of Neon Mixtape, and then they're like, actually no, you can just like bring him wherever. He's like chill like that. Like, okay, sure, I guess you just do that. Why would you not bring this thing every single level? He's the GOAT. This thing is amazing. Garlic, bro, I don't know what. I don't feel like I ever used garlic builds. I don't feel like they're very good. I feel like there's no, they killed my boy Gloom Shroom, so why am I gonna use garlic nowadays? There's so many zombies that don't eat now. Like, there's gargantuars in every single level. There's gargantuars in every single level. There's pickaxe zombies. There's like so many zombies that don't eat, and if you don't eat, you're not affected by garlic. So garlic, you're gonna have to go into like, I don't know, C tier, I guess, D tier, probably D tier. I would never use this thing. What is this plant called? I'm sorry. Spore Shroom. Dog, I gotta be so honest with you. I hate hate this thing. I hate this. Is another thing that I don't care if it's good. I don't think it's good. I think he's like probably like C tier. Basically, the way it works is that like when it kills a zombie, another spore shroom will be placed down. And I'm like, awesome. This plant that can't kill jack crap is going to be placed in the front of your lane when it kills a zombie. And then that plant is going to get eaten as well. Like it just, what? This thing sucks. Did I mention I don't like Neon Mixtape? I thought this level sucked. I thought it would be like so cool because like everything I like in a level, it's like funky and cool and 80s, and I just hated it. I hated it. I'm putting this thing in freaking D tier. Okay, Intensive Carrot, it genuinely might be the worst plant in the game. It genuinely might be. It is that bad. It brings plants back to life. When would I ever, if I'm already losing my winter melons, dog, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. Like why would this ever help me out? This thing sucks, and I already have like a billion sun anyway. This is awful. It's fun for some levels, for those like custom levels you had to do where it was like, oh, okay, you had all these plants and you have to decide which ones to like revive. You guys remember that special level? That level was cool. Besides that, this sucks. All right, guys, we're getting into the heavy hitters. I'm just gonna be so upfront with you all. I think I'm gonna have to make a new tier. I think I'm gonna have to do an S+ tier, guys, because we're getting into prehistoric March right now, and dog, these might just be, besides you, who are you doing here? But like these 4 plants might be like the best plants in the game. I think this is what I'm gonna do. Put Time Warp up here. Could put Magnifying Grass up here. Primal Pea Shooter, S+ tier. Actually, no, he's probably a S tier. Dude, freaking Primal Sunflower, S+ tier. Primal Nut, S+ tier. And this might be the best plant in the game. I've said about like 10 plants. Primal Nut is like good. He's like P tier. Actually, no, he might be A tier. These plants are really good. Okay, I'm gonna go through them really quick. This thing is a repeater, but it shoots zombies back. What? That is so, I use this in every single level. This thing, that's so strong. How is that even fair? He might be S+ tier. He's really good. Primal Sunflower is cost 75 and makes nodes of 75. What? Why? How is that even fair? How is that even allowed? This thing is a potato mine, but it blows up a 3x3 square, and he readies in like 2 seconds. It's like a cherry bomb you can store. Like when I played PvC 1 survival, a lot of the time I would do this thing when we were trying to get to like wave 30, you'd like place down a doom shroom. That way it could like recharge like in real time, and then you place down like a coffee bean right when you need to use it. That's like if they're like, I see what you're doing, I'm gonna make you that, but it's gonna be like 75% cheaper, and the recharge time is gonna be like pretty quick. What? Why is that allowed? I like, up until this point, genuinely, like I was about to like lose my mind when I was playing this game. These 4 plants made it like so much bearable because I like hated everything up until then. This is actually, Primal Nut being an A actually makes me want to put this thing in B. These plants are so good. I don't know why they like give you them actually, but it's good because like I was getting like really tired of playing this game. This thing is like fine. It wins over dinosaurs. I hate dinosaurs, but I'll just put this in like this tier. Big Wave Beach. Now, I'm gonna also be controversial again. I love Big Wave Beach. I think Big Wave Beach is really fun. I think it's really cool, and I think the vibes are on. And I know everybody else hates Big Wave Beach, but I don't care. I don't care. Now, I will say all these plants suck. All these plants are awful. This lily pad is like, I guess technically better than before because there are more lanes. I'm just gonna put in this tier. This guy, he's pretty good. Actually, this might be S tier for Big Wave Beach, but he's only usable in Big Wave Beach, so I think I have to put him in A tier. There are so many zombies you need to use this on a Big Wave Beach. You got the octopus zombie. You got the not the snorkel zombie. I forget what he is now. He used to be a snorkeler. There are so many annoying zombies in Big Wave Beach. I just want to plop that down and call it a day. I would like be using plant food to like re-up the recharge time on this thing. This thing is really good. Better than all these guys. This bowling ball plant, this is like the biggest disappointment in the game for me. It like shoots these 3 bowling balls, but it like recharges so slow and the damage is so pitiful. That like one conveyor belt level where you only have to use these, I thought that was really, really hard just because this plant is so bad. I don't understand this plant at all. I don't know why they made it. I think he's like D tier, maybe even F tier. I think I should put some more things in F tier. You're getting put in F tier. I've realized you're getting put in F tier, Rotobega, and what else is getting put in F tier? Maybe this thing. These things are pretty bad. I don't like them at all. They do like no damage. All right, what is this? Crocamole or something like that? Quacka Croc, Quacky Crocky, Crocky Slush, something like that. D tier. It's like an instant kill that, it's like, what if an instant kill did like 2 damage? What if I wanted an instant kill that did like 1/4 the damage of a cherry cherry bomb and a pea shooter that sucked. I would plant this. Okay, sick. Go on ahead. Banana launcher. Banana launcher is kind of disappointing. It's like they took Cobb Cannon and like took out all his sauce and flavor. He is funny looking, but it's like they took everything that was great about Cobb Cannon and like literally took a dump on it, and it makes me like sad. Like, he's not that bad, but he's so expensive for what he does, and like those bananas feel like so underwhelming. Put him in C tier. I mean, like, he's not that bad, but he's probably actually like B tier, but like he just disappoints me, so I'm gonna put him in C tier. And this is my goddamn list. All right, then we got these night shroom plants. What are they called? Moon plants, maybe. Okay, so this thing, okay, moon plants are pretty good, sort of, kind of really good. Like, some of them are good and some of them are really bad. Like this one, like I kind of feel like I have to talk about them together, because the way they work is they all like work better when they are in the ray of this guy. So like this guy, what is it again? Like moon something? Moonflower is only as good because he gives sun as like the other moon plants. But the other moon plants are pretty good. Like Lobber is really good. Like Lobber might be like S+ tier. Like Lobber's pretty freaking good. And this thing is pretty good too. This thing sucks. This thing's like D tier. I hate this thing. I think he's really bad. This thing's pretty good. This thing's like B tier because it like insta kills some plants and it's like nice to have. But like the reason I think you use Moonflower, I'm gonna put Moonflower in A tier because like E on itself is not really good. It's just that like Lobber and this thing are really good. I forget what this thing's called. Shadow Shroom. It's just that Lobber and Shadow Shroom are really good. They're like killing zombies. The poison does like bonkers damage. And Lobber is just like, bro, this thing is like it's like a better Melon Pult. And Melon Pult's already like pretty good. Once you have it powered up. You have to have him powered up though. So it's like kind of a catch-22. But he's pretty good in general. Okay, this is my tier list. Now let's do like the last minute revisions. How do I feel about everything? I feel like this S+ tier is like accurate as heck. S tier feels good. Lobber might be like here actually, and Cherry Bomb might be like here because it carries you through so much of the game. No, Primal Pea Shooter is really good though. These two plants are like what you use for 90% of the game. Laser Bean I'm probably overrating. Repeater is really good. This thing I'm probably overrating too because he's only used in like 2 levels. He's basically an EM Peach, I will say. You know what? That's what I'll put him down because he's exactly an EM Peach. He's used for a lot of really annoying zombies in a very specific time. This feels good. Stunyon's I'm probably overrating Stunyon. Spudmine is fine. Magnitrume's okay. Lightning Reed, okay. I think I feel good about all of these. Snapdragon might be B tier technically, but I just like have beef with him. Wow, notice that these are all utility plants. They can't make utility plants in this game. All right, guys, here's my final tier list. Hold on, let me shrink my monitor so that somebody can screen cap this on Twitter and then say that I'm terrible at this game. Now, keep in mind, guys, that like, first of all, I'm awful at this game. Second of all, like, this is kind of based on my opinion. And third of all, I played this game like a year ago, so I don't fully remember everything. But this is like to my general knowledge what everything was. All right, so tell me about how I'm wrong in the comments down below. I actually will read them. I actually like when people like say stuff like that. I like the vibes on the second channel, the comments in there. It's like the comments are kind of chill, you know what I mean? So I will read them if you actually think that I'm like really wrong. Just be nice. Just be nice about it. Like, don't be like, dude, you sucked. You're like you're spreading misinformation about the PvZ2 community. I'm like, I tried to say this is all just my opinion. You know what I mean? There are definitely better people to, you know, talk about this. If somebody makes a video like in response to this and it's like really good, I'll make like a short about it and be like, I was wrong. All right, I think this is good. All right, that's it, guys. Let me know what you want me to do on my second channel next. I'm just doing these because it's honestly fun and the vibes are chill and I like the second channel vibes and you guys seem to like it too. So yeah, second channel, just fun. More main channel stuff coming very soon. I wanted to slow down on January because I was really tired. Celeste into grounded grind like kind of broke me like emotionally and physically. So I like really need a rest after that. I also had like right before that I was coming off like a Core Keeper video and the Cookie Clicker video. So I was like last half of last year I was like really like kind of busted up. So I was like, I'm gonna take a break. Not a break, but just like I was gonna like take it slow for January and only upload 1 video. And that's what's happening in case you're curious. Subscribe to the main channel and let me know what you think. Okay, bye!